Okay, great. Okay, so welcome everybody. This is part two, Ayurvedic skincare for mature skin in the summertime. And we're going to be talking today about Ayurvedic lifestyle, Ayurvedic nutrition, and how to balance yourself in the summertime so that you can keep your skin hydrated and glowing and beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's an important point is that many people, when they talk skincare, they only think about applying things on their skin. But the skincare does start on the inside, and especially looking after our digestion is connected to Rasa Dhatu, and it's connected to the way our skin appears and the way it looks. And the color of the skin also affects because they're healthy pitta manifests as a healthy complexion. So that's why it's so important not just to think about applying things and skincare on your skin. That's also an important part, of course, but also looking after our body to make sure that it's in a balanced, healthy state.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think we can start with we discussed a little bit of a lifestyles in the previous conversation where we covered napping during the daytime, staying cool, staying hydrated, um, not spending too much time in the like peak time of the day, um, swimming in the sea or like staying somewhere cool by water, lakes.
Yeah.
Um, so what else can we add to that?
Well, I think one of the other things is in terms of it. So if we think about our pillars of vitality, we've got rest. So getting enough good quality sleep can sometimes be difficult in the summertime because the sun is setting quite late. But it is essential that we get good quality sleep, and we also talked about taking a nap in the height of the sun, which is also allowed according to Ayurveda in the summertime. So yay! Um, but also exercise, I think, is an important one because especially here in the West, we've got some of us may have very rigorous exercise routines, and in the summertime, in order to not aggravate pitta, actually what we need to be doing is not really strenuous exercise. So taking more like walks, like morning walks before the sun gets too hot, like Maria said, like swimming, non-competitive sports out in the sun, and just taking it a little bit easier with exercise as well. And I think that almost comes naturally when it's super hot. Then the last thing you want to do is you haven't really got the
Right.
energy, have you, or the
Yeah.
vitality.
Sweat even more. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you are doing that, then you're talking about sweating, then you need to make sure that you're putting in electrolytes and good stuff back into the body because we just get more and more dehydrated.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, so some of lifestyle tips really for Ayurveda, I think it's really important for me personally. I love to go out in the morning sun. So waking up early in the summertime because you can, because it's lovely and light, and getting out and getting those early morning rays. Because what's so amazing about that is it's kind of like building up your hormones for the day. So, the cortisol, the melatonin, it's kind of all starting in the morning, and it's a healthy way to get the sun because you're not in it at the beginning, in the middle of the day. You're actually in it in the morning where the UV rays are much less. And I think it's really important that we go out and get sunshine. It's really important for our body because and our circadian rhythm because we're attached to like the clock of the sun and the sun setting. Our bodies are actually in that circadian rhythm. So by getting up early with the sun, or not with the sun because it's super early at the moment, but around sort of like 5:30, 6 o'clock and getting out in the morning, I really I find that helps me balance my pitta a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. I agree to what you mentioned, especially about the exercises, is that we do, and like especially if you are a Pitta type, which is very stubborn and very originated person, and then they want to carry on with their routines and do the same as they used to, then this time is really like, enjoy swimming, enjoy those lovely walks in the morning time. And if you really need to, then do those exercises in not in the peak time or the peak sunshine time. Like in the morning, you can do some more vigorous yoga or a little bit of weightlifting, whatever you used to do, but maybe reduce the time or do a bit less in the summertime because our body is like a little bit exhausted with the heat as well. It does lose a lot of water with the sweat. And because you mentioned the electrolytes, the easiest way to replenish the electrolytes in the body is this just natural drink of water, add a little bit of brown sugar, a pinch of salt, and lime or lemon. Better add
Yeah,
lime. And
delicious.
it's so delicious. It's so simple. Everybody has access to it. You don't need to buy any special um, anything at all. Like most people would have that in their, as they travel as well. It's really amazing. It's so nourishing, and it helps to because when we drink water, one thing is that we drink it, we consume it, but the other way is getting the water absorbed and getting it into the cells of the body. And then, to really increase the rate of absorption is that pinch of salt and the pinch of brown sugar, a little bit of lime, that what makes a difference and really increases the rates of absorption. And the
Yeah.
third thing that you mentioned was about the pineal gland and the melatonin and really circadian rhythms. So yeah, so like it's really what happens is that we start accumulating melatonin throughout the day, and at night when it's too much, our body sends us to sleep. And that's what many people stop doing, especially in this technology-driven era.
Don't go outside.
Yeah, we don't go
Drink
outside.
coffee instead.
Yes, triple coffee, and I don't need to go outside. And it's so important to really expose our skin to this early morning sun rays without actually putting the sunscreen on. Obviously, when you are out in the hot sun, it's different, especially if you have fair skin or if you have any concerns. If you've been told that by your doctor, obviously carry on applying the sunscreen. But if you're out in the early morning, the sun is not strong yet, but we need that sunshine on our third eye. Um, and it's really
And
actually,
through our eyes as well.
it's
So
really
it's
great for
important to not wear
eyes.
sunglasses in that early morning. And we're talking about like, before 9 o'clock. We're talking like early morning sun here.
Yeah, because
Um,
sun is such a powerful force. It's same as air or ground or hugging trees, that's the energy. And it's important to be exposed to that energy rather than, like what humanity tries to do is control anything. So like you start controlling the sun, completely block it. It's not good. We have to have this, it's like not swimming in the sea ever just because it's not clean enough. You just imagine that what you ever do is just expose yourself only to filtered water, and then you become that species which is actually not able to tolerate any kind of bacteria or any kind of um, natural environment. Like we are part of nature and we need to really live in tune with it. I think we're
mm.
really learning that point, and we're talking really basic things here.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting, what's just occurred to me as you were talking about that is obviously Maria and I with our skincare brand, we've done a lot of research on the microbiome. So the fact is that we don't just it's not just skin that's here. It's actually, you don't see it, but it's just full of microbes and bacterias and fungi. And our body is just, I think it's like some statistic, like 97% of us is actually bacterias, etc., and microbes. And they need it. They need, our terrain, if you want to call it a terrain, yeah, we're full of all these other things, yeah, that make up our body, and they need the sunshine. Like they need to fall into the circadian rhythm. They need the early morning sun. They need to be, exposed to it, in order to, because it's our first line of defense as well. So we want to keep the microbiome on our skin like super healthy and flourishing. And in order to do that, we need like a variety of microbes on our skin. And if we're
Exactly.
not doing the basic stuff that humanity's been doing for millennia, then, we're going to get out of balance very quickly. And
Yeah.
that will show up on our skin. And it also shows up inside of us when we, it's obviously another conversation, but with our digestion, as we know, we've got a microbiome inside of us, a garden inside of our stomach of fauna and flora and like all the things like the good bacterias and bad bacterias. And when we overdo certain things, then we can often kill the good guys and then end up with an imbalance and digestive issues. It's the same for the skin. Like it needs a delicate approach and it needs to be really nurtured. And sunlight
Yeah.
is one of the ways that you can do it without too much
Yeah.
effort.
Yeah. 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 Obviously, in everything in balance, everything. So not overdoing, but also not completely not doing, just finding that middle ground there. Another two things which we didn't mention, I think, like we touched upon them in our previous chat, but two things for emotional health with this aggravated pitta, what really helps is surrounding yourself with beautiful things. And it's quite easy because many people go in for holidays. So do take your time to enjoy this scenery. Look at the sky, look at the beautiful sky, look at the sea. Let this senses be nurtured as well. It's really good for the eyes and it's really great for pitta. Another way to pacify pitta is with smell.
Mm,
Pitta loves everything like nice smells, nice, good comfort, beautiful scenes, and nice words, like, be actually treated as a king. That's the Pitta way, and that really pacifies mentally, emotionally,
yeah.
really pacifies Pitta. So all this nurturing, like have nice conversations with your family, discuss something, nice music, and lovely, lovely smells. Yeah, like
Yeah.
pick your favorite and really enjoy.
Well, it's kind of reflected as well in the summertime, isn't it? The fragrance side of things. You think that's when the flowers are blossoming. I mean, here in the UK, we've got like beautiful roses, but they've got wherever you go, they've got amazing smells from just nature. Like the flower is opening and being all beautiful, and that's kind of a reflection of Pitta as well. Then you've got a chance to kind of just, it's beautiful to look at, it's beautiful to smell, it's kind of indulging yourself and your senses.
So
And I think it's
indulge
so,
in beauty in all
yeah,
ways. That
yeah.
would
And also that connection you mentioned, I think it pacifies Pitta when you can slow down and stop in the doing and just be in that moment of looking out and taking a breath and thinking, wow, this is lovely, and slowing everything down. It's so important.
Yes, both Pitta and Vata. That's why it's so good for mature skin. This nourishment, which we, especially as we grow up, we don't really allow ourselves this moment of peace and really deep, deep, deep nurturing, which nurtures us not only on the mental and emotional level, but also like physically, it is very nourishing because our mind is so connected with the body. And also it's a spiritual connection. Like when we connect to nature, see beauty in nature, see beauty around us, it's so soothing for our heart as well.
Yeah.
Really great. And I think we can jump onto the digestion and cooling ourselves down with foods and with um, drinks to really round it up. So like we've started with the lifestyles, now we're moving on to the diet, and then we will end up with the skincare tips, what we can apply on our skin during the Pitta season. So for the taste, it's best to indulge in tastes which pacify Pitta, and they are sweet, bitter, and astringent. So the sweet is actually the strongest. So the sweet, I don't mean going to McDonald's and eating ice cream. It's actually
No, it's like the juicy
counterproductive.
fruits and things like that. Things that it's also connected to what's available in the season. So obviously, summertime, what's available in summertime is actually
Exactly.
what pacifies Pitta, what actually
Yeah.
helps you keep balance in the summertime, which is why it's so important to eat seasonally.
Yes. And nature provides exactly. So wherever you go, is this. the season of lovely fruits, berries, do indulge in them, and bitter veggies as well, like the courgettes or zucchinis. Um, Moringa, if you can get some moringa, is great as well. All the herbs, my favorite tip for calming my pitta down in the summertime is just if I don't have access to anything, I just put coriander leaves on top of my food. And it just works magic because coriander is so cooling in a nice way, and it just really pacifies my pitta. Another way, if you have the coriander seeds, is to pour some water, and preferably room temperature water, overnight over those seeds. And in the morning, you drink that. You can also add a few raisins there, like for extra cleansing effect if you need to. For example, if you have been drinking or you've been
Yeah,
out at
this is
night,
a
that's
great tip. This one you're talking about here is a really good tip, Maria, because it really works. It's so there's something in the coriander seed that's just so cooling. And what they all say in Ayurveda is that you leave it in the moonlight overnight, don't you? Because what we didn't say in the lifestyle, which has just come to me there, like lifestyle things you can do, it's actually moon bathing.
box,
Walking
yeah.
out under the moon is because the moon is very cool, whereas the sun is obviously super hot. The moon is cooling. So that's putting the coriander seeds out under the moonlight, like in a window, and drinking it the next day is really, really cooling for pitta. And it's also great for Vata time of life, Vata skin. It's really hydrating and it also naturally detoxes, like you just mentioned. It's like a natural detox as well.
Raisins, yeah, they're great as well because Vata also likes the sweet taste. So that's the taste actually. Sweet taste is both balancing for Vata and Pitta. That's why it's so great for mature
Yeah.
skin and for the mature nutrition as well. Mature skin to nourish your skin from inside. Any sweet taste, but again, naturally sweet, not the white sugar, not the chemically produced things, but like nature. So like the fruits, the dried fruits as well, like especially they're soaked, like with coriander, the raisins, dates as well. Um, Obviously, watermelon, if you put a little bit of, it has to be eaten separately, and you can put a little bit of black pepper to increase digestion because it's very watery. So a little bit of a spice there. And I mean, it's super weird. Like the first time,
I love it with cardamom. It's really nice with cardamom spice.
yeah, yeah, but it just like it needs a little bit of heat to
Or
increase.
basil, mint. Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many like in terms of like drinks that you can have in the summertime to help cool. There's so many options with all the herbs that are available that are growing in your garden.
Exactly. You can
Yeah.
experiment and bring them in, but like I think coriander and rose and hibiscus, this two, the colored ones, the one with this bright red color,
Yeah, so
also
beautiful
are
to look
very
at.
nourishing for the pitta and they're really pacifying. But what not to do is what most people do, and that's the like counterproductive, is having ice cold drinks. It's really what it does. Our digestion can get a little bit sensitive with the heat because we are so exhausted, and all the heat goes from the basically with sweating and the hot sun, our digestion goes away. Like it goes with the sweat all over the body. Yeah, like the heat is getting distributed all over the body, while in the winter it's condensed there in the stomach. So as the heat is getting distributed all over the body, the digestion becomes weaker. And that's why when you actually add ice cold drinks, you basically shatter your digestion and your digestive fire. Like imagine if you just had a low burning fire, like a little bit, it was kind of going, but kind of about to stop. So instead of putting a little bit of paper there or like small pieces of wood chip or like something like that, you put like ice water on that and you're just gonna completely stop it.
Yeah.
So that's important. And another thing that people also often do is having a lot of ice creams, dairy. It's not really, well, dairy itself can be good, but having too much anything artificial is also not very good for us. Um, a little bit of, yeah, some milk can be taken, but ice cream obviously has to be limited.
Which is a shame because everyone loves an ice cream in the summertime. So when would be a good time to have your
It's
ice
about
cream
the
if you're in summer?
balance. No, no, you can have an ice cream. I mean, like, I love an ice cream, and I think it's time to enjoy ice cream. I think Ayurveda is all about balance. If you really love an ice cream, don't say no, but also don't have a liter of ice cream. Yeah, have a portion, enjoy with your family, and maybe just have it separate from other things. Like, don't mix it with fruit, don't mix it with carbonated drinks, anything really. Dairy doesn't really mix well with other things, but do enjoy an ice cream, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, what another tip, yeah, like the carbonated drinks I mentioned, also not the best thing. Um, Alcohol, take care, take care. Make sure that you rehydrate in the morning, have the coriander and raisins in the morning if you drunk, because it will be drying, it will be deranging Pitta and Vata and aggravating your condition. And then,
It's also quite acidic, isn't it? So I think what some people notice in the summertime is that they get indigestion quite easily, or they get like quite a bit of acidity in their stomach. And that's the heat of pitta, isn't it? So pitta
yeah,
is overactive in the digestive system. So what can we suggest to them in terms of herbs for that? So I mean, we talked about aloe vera in the last
hmm,
conversation, and you can actually take that as a drink in the morning, which is really helpful if you're suffering from digestive issues in the
acidity,
summertime.
yeah,
Um, Pomegranate as well. Pomegranate juice is also a good one. And
but
then
not on the empty stomach.
not
Yeah,
on an
like
empty
you can
stomach.
have
Yeah. And
pomegranate
mixing it and
juice
diluting it with
with
water.
food. Yeah.
Never take juice 100%. It's always mixed with water. And I'm not sure if we were going to mention on this one or not. I think we're going to do another topic to talk about the takra drink and how to make that. Because
Takra drink, yeah, actually anything and right as well with a cucumber. That's really amazing. I mean, Ayurveda is so connected with like how people lived. And if you look in India, that they do serve that all over, whether
yeah, and they eat
cucumber
really
and
spicy food as well, which like so pitta would get aggravated by chilies, for example, and there's certain food groups, tomatoes, aubergines, onions, that can actually aggravate. But when you go to India, they're all eating spicy food
but that's a bit
in the
different.
heat.
They do, but well, I mean, my understanding is that it relates to their tolerance level that they've been doing that for ages. So obviously, then
Yeah,
that's a different tolerance level. But another thing is, I don't want to say anything bad, but then it's like it's a different level of hygiene, and
they have to use the
it's
chilies
just
to
to
clean it.
use
Yeah.
these spices to really clean the digestive tract regularly. But it does show up. Like if people overuse them, then um, a lot of acne can occur. Like like the blocked the schrotters little passages which get blocked with oil, and then people do suffer from acne and like really bad nasty spots, and can even get into cystic acne and things like that. So obviously being cautious, and then we don't recommend hot spicy food, especially for the Westerners, unless you're really habituated to it and you've grown with it. It's not there's sometimes not the time to
In the summertime, definitely not.
experimenting
Experiment in the
with it.
winter when your digestion's strong.
Yes.
But
Or
like,
unless you have to go
but
to
they usually follow. So the reason I mentioned it is because we talked about the takra drink, and Maria was just talking about Raita and the cucumber and the yogurt and how great that is and how cooling that is. And what else do they put? They put coriander in it, do they? I
yes,
don't
they
think.
do put coriander. It can be also parsley and mint.
Yeah, and then you have it like with the meal or after the meal, so it kind of cools down if they've had something hot.
After the meal, it also is great for what you said for the microbiome. It's a natural probiotic, and you don't really need to buy anything expensive. Just get the Raita. Sorry, Takra. That's Takra. Sorry, I got confused. Yeah, so it's Takra, and that's natural probiotic, but the Raita as well. Anything with
Yeah,
yogurt and fresh um, bacteria there. That's also a really good probiotic. A little bit of spices. I think they add cumin, coriander, as per taste, it can be done. Um, I like adding garlic, but that's not the best idea in the summertime.
Yeah, because that can
Um,
aggravate as well.
yeah, but if you're habituated to it, if you used to eat it all the time and you are generally healthy and balanced, then that's not gonna cause you a problem. Like generally for us, anything hot like chili peppers in the summer would definitely cause an imbalance. For Indian people, they're habituated to it. It's fine for them. In Mexico as well, in Thailand, people are eating a lot of spices, and it is completely fine with them.
Yeah, so I think just to round it up a little bit, just from what we've been saying, so we started by talking about, so it's Ayurvedic skincare in the summertime for mature skin. And the reason why we have been discussing lifestyle and diet is because I think Maria mentioned at the beginning, it's all connected. So getting the balance in your digestive system, looking after your microbiome, looking after um, your mental health and well-being, and now that you have a full understanding of what pitta is and the signs and symptoms of an imbalanced pitta, then that naturally will reflect in the health of your skin.
Yes,
Yeah,
especially because the rasa dhatu. So basically, what happens is that the food that we eat is getting digested. So for that, we need strong digestive fire. So as we consume that food, the food is getting digested and it gets into this liquid um, portion, yeah, that liquid nutrition, which is rasa dhatu, and it just gets distributed all over the body. And then in Ayurveda, it is said that the quality of skin, like people who have like really brilliant, very beautiful skin, it means that the rasa dhatu is healthy. And the rasa dhatu can't be healthy without healthy digestive fire. So that's working from the inside. And it is all connected. You can't really get healthy skin just working on the outside only. We're
yeah,
working with a dead layer of skin here. So, but then we definitely, I think, is a good point to jump into the skincare for the summertime. Anything cooling and nourishing.
yeah. Face packs are a massive thing for me. I think that if you can add some extra, and I'm not talking about like the shop bought pre-done face packs, but ones that you can actually so we do like a powder one, our facial cleanser, and you can mix it with a liquid of your choice depending on what your skin needs. And this is what I love about it.
I absolutely love it too.
Yeah. So in the summertime, my go-to is to mix it with aloe vera juice, or rose water, because aloe vera juice or aloe vera gel, straight from the plant, or you can buy a really high quality natural one that's not had any nasties put inside it, or nice quality rose water mixed in with the powder, which is also full of rejuvenating, cooling medicinal herbs. It just works so well. It just really gives your skin a glow. It nourishes it. It leaves it feeling super smooth. So I would say that's one of my biggest tips is to give your skin a bit of extra care. What else would you say, Maria, from your perspective? Obviously, your skin is a decade younger than mine. What works nicely for you in the
Oh, that
summertime?
definitely, like aloe vera is whenever I'm feeling that too much sun on my skin, and
A
because my skin is
tightness, like a
so,
tightness.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and my skin is so much pitta, like, I get really easily, I get redness, I don't really get a suntan. I get red and then white again. More or less, maybe a little kind of tinge there. So what happens with me is that if I go on a holiday and the sunscreen and the sand and the sea, it starts to start to have breakouts because of this combination. And for whatever reason, maybe I have too many ice creams or
There we
a few
go.
glasses of wine, like all the combination, and then just my skin starts to break out so badly. So this again, like the I use the cleanser. Um, Also with water, rose water or milk, it's also so nourishing. That's my favorite actually. The mask, do it as a mask with yogurt or sour cream. I just see the difference straight away. The skin is so glowing. And again with aloe vera as well, it just like completely rehydrated. The skin is so smooth, rehydrated and clear. Like it because it just really deeply pulls out all those deep-seated pieces of sunscreen and like any grime, any oil in the sweat glands. It cleanses but so gently without disturbing anything because it's only natural herbs and algae. Um, so it's really gentle and that's what I love about it. But yeah, like rose water in the summer, aloe in the summer, milk or sour cream or yogurt also great. As a pack or as a cleanser, both work well. And oils, anything coconut based is
Yeah,
amazing.
amazing. And you can just buy, so when you're away, if you're traveling, for example, you can get coconut oil anywhere in any supermarket.
Easily,
You can
yeah,
just buy
yeah,
that. I've been doing that recently. I was literally putting on a load of coconut oil after having a day out in the sun or just outside, and then putting on the mask and then waiting for, 20 minutes or so and then getting in the shower. And I was
yes.
just putting the coconut oil on um, after the day in the sun, not early morning when I'm then going out into the sun, because we have to be careful with
That's amazing
oil
that you
and
mentioned that.
sun. Yeah,
So, so the reason is that Sam said that she doesn't put the oil in the morning. Like in winter, you can do that. But in the summer, what happens if you put the oil on your skin and then you come out with it, which many actually people promote, what happens is like a frying pan. If you imagine like putting, you have a pan and you put the oil on it, then whatever you have on there, like vegetables, will start frying. So the same, your skin, it gets like, it really gets fried. And it's if you went out in very controlled way for 10 minutes and then start putting protection or go into the shade, which nobody does, it may work for you, but then we recommend if you put the um, oil, then do follow it with a sunscreen because it will um, exaggerate the reaction. Like, the skin will really like it starts kind of your skin will start frying in the
yeah.
sun, getting the color. And if you have any melatonin imbalance, like you have hyperpigmentation, or like me, you have like little like not freckles, but what are they called, Sam? Like not burnt,
Moles, moles,
like little
moles.
tiny moles all over. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like a sign of high pita. Um, then it's easy to get too much. This type of skin is not really loving much high heat, high peak sun. It doesn't really like it. It's just all about very balanced exposure to
But
sun.
but I find that using oil daily is the only thing that really keeps my skin feeling soft and glowing and hydrated. Because I don't use like moisturizers from like the
Yeah.
supermarket or anything, but by doing that every day, like I said, after the heat of the day, I wake up the next morning, my skin is so soft, and I think the Vata skin, mature skin, it just needs that nourishment because the oil, it just goes deeply into the cells, it just absorbs it, and my skin just like soaks it up. So I think, in terms of skincare for Vata in the summertime, it's an absolute must, putting more hydration on, and for me it works as oil.
Yeah,
Definitely a
especially
game
the
changer.
Ayurvedic oil because it's not just a simple oil like coconut oil when it's just coconut oil. I use it to remove makeup, or I can use it when I'm on holiday to nourish my skin. But the oil, like our facial oil, is a different type of oil because it is the herbs, and the herbs we use are also like ground in nourishing, deeply nourishing root herbs. Like Bala is one of the most nourishing herbs in Ayurveda, and Vata pacifying. And then they are like soaked in and like steeped for days in this oil under on a small temperature. So first they are like steeped in the oil and then they sit there as well, and then they get really like the oil changes
infused into it.
qualities. They get
Yeah.
it gets infused with these herbs, and then they are ready for absorption. Because if you just put something on the top of the skin, it doesn't really get absorbed because the skin is meant to protect us.
Yeah.
Not everything that you put on your skin gets absorbed into it. So the oil is really the best. Like it's so rejuvenated, so anti-aging in a good way in terms of um, really premature aging.
It's supporting the skin. It's not
Yeah,
like it's
it's
supporting the skin
supporting
on
the
its aging
skin.
journey. Yeah, that's
Yes,
what I think you mean. Yeah.
yes. I mean, we are pro-aging, not anti-aging, and I think anti-aging is a term to use when the skin is maybe premature aged. It's nothing wrong when we age, and it's fine, but it's also really good to support it with oil. And yeah, like it's definitely one of the best treatments that you can give yourself and your skin.
Yeah.
Because it also, there is, I think with next time we can bring up a study as well, where it was the cell membrane, how it absorbs the oil and replenishes itself. And only oil can do that. Most of the moisturizers, they sit on the surface of the skin. And the oil, because it's so similar to the skin sebum, it really
Yeah, and
absorbs
the
inside.
lipid layer of the membrane, it's like only oil can go through
Yeah,
of the cell.
to
Yeah, which is
really
why it goes
penetrate
deep,
the
deeply
membrane.
in.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
And yeah, okay. So our next one is going to be on sun exposure and sunscreens, and we'll look forward to see you there. Bye.